Everton Football Club have announced the passing of Chairman Bill Kenwright, CBE, who passed away peacefully last night, aged 78, surrounded by his family and loved ones. If you want to pay your tributes, we spoke to Beaky, and he said that towards the end of his tenure there at Everton, his time was quite toxic amongst Everton fans. But if you'd like to pay your tributes to the Everton chairman, we would love to hear from you this afternoon. 03717 223344. I'm going to speak to Josh in just a sec. He's an Everton fan who wants to do just that. So if you want to do that as well, tell us about some nice stories or good memories. If you phone up now, we'll put you after Josh. So Everton fans, 03717 223344. I always think it's good to have a chat at times like this. Let's speak to Josh. Hello, Josh. How are you? Good afternoon.
Hi, Andy. All right, Benty.
Hi there, mate.
How are you feeling, Josh?
Gutted, really, mate. Yeah. Really gutted.
Yeah.
I mean, we shouldn't allow the past couple of years or however long it's been where people have got a bit deranged with Kenwright himself to overshadow the longevity, commitment, desire, wholehearted nature that he approached this football club with. And it was evident during the David Moyes reign more than anything. When I started going to watch when I was a young boy with my dad, we didn't have much money. We were fighting an uphill battle, and he trusted David with limited resources to sort of get the best for Everton. Like, we sold Wayne Rooney, one of the best academy prospects that we've developed in the club's history. We reinvested that money. Tim Cahill, Arteta, Jagielka, players like that. Moyes was given the time to build a structure to sort of get us into the European places, but it was down to Kenwright and his commitment, and he was the figurehead for Everton Football Club.
Yeah, how much of your club today is all thanks to Bill Kenwright, do you think?
Massive. As I've alluded to, when he took over, the club was in a position where we weren't really financially stable, and he was able to sort of change that around over a period of, I'd say, 10 to 15 years when David Moyes was there, and even Walter Smith was there. We appointed Walter Smith. I think Philip Carter might have been the chairman then, but Kenwright would have certainly had something to do with that.
Josh,
to get a manager in to stabilise it.
Sorry, Josh, go on.
No, I was just going to expand on that and say we also put money into the youth system to develop players like Francis Jeffers, Wayne Rooney, people like that. Michael Ball. A lot of them didn't stick around, but they were sold on for profit, and this is what we had to do back in those days, was develop the players, and then when the bids come in, they went on to greater things. Well, some of them did. And so did Everton with the reinvestment that we had with David Moyes there. Moyes and Kenwright were a good partnership. They were good mates on and off the field, but they had that professionalism as well to realise that this is the journey we want to go on. And, the fans bought into it. Like, I never expected us to finish fourth that season, 2004-05. Like, going in school, like, telling me mates we're in Europe, it was just, like, surreal.
We spoke to Beacon before, I don't know if you heard it, and he said towards the end of his time, Bill Kenwright, when he was at the club, even in the director's box, he had a bit of added security. It was quite toxic there. Do you think maybe now, after the sad news, a lot of Everton fans will regret how they treated him in his last remaining few years, or not?
I can't speak for fellow fans. I just know from my own perspective, I always try and keep a level head on things, It's important not to get too sort of bogged down with what's happened lately. I mean, this is modern football, isn't it? The sad reality of it, that you do get people coming to games with that toxic attitude. They want to offload to somebody, and it's always the hierarchy that sort of get it in the net, the managers and the chairman. Yeah. I think a lot's got to be directed at the players, but we are here talking about Kenwright, and I just want to say, I never met him, obviously, but just that vibe that he gave off. He was a loving character, loved Everton Football Club. Like, he was basically Mr. Everton. I go as far as saying that.
What a lovely call, Josh. Obviously, you're very upset about it. You've got people around you, yeah? You can speak to people?
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Good.
I mean, my dad took me to Everton when I was 4 or 5 years old. We've been on this journey, of watching Everton under Kenwright's premiership, and we have complained about certain things he's done, but what fan base doesn't moan at some point?
That's right. Well, lovely call, Josh. Thank you for that. Have a lovely afternoon, if that's at all possible. Thanks for coming on. That's a great call, that was. Let's speak to Stuart, joins us now. Hi, Stuart.
Hi, it's just a story about how Bill was as a person. Carlisle United, when they played Everton in the FA Cup, he brought Joseph up to Carlisle and actually gave all the staff tickets to go and see the show in Carlisle.
That's nice.
It says how he was as a person, how shocked we all are about hearing these sudden deaths.
Sure. Did you say you got to meet him?
I didn't get to meet him, but a few people that we know did.
And he gave you, you said he gave you a load of tickets.
He gave all the staff at Carlisle United tickets to go and see Joseph in Carlisle when they played Everton in the FA Cup.
I mean, that obviously just tells you all you need to know about him, to be fair. As you said, if he's coming down, seeing the staff, giving out tickets, that's just a lovely thing to do.
Oh, yeah. Who else would do that?
I think that's, I think, Andy, that's the important thing. I think when you, as I said, we don't know, we only know him as a chairman. But I always think there's always something about when you get, say, other fans from other football clubs having a story about another chairman. Yeah. I think that always kind of tells you more about the man than maybe his own supporters.
Yeah, he's a good guy.
Yeah.
And let's speak to Neil, who's an Everton fan. Hi, Neil. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. Can you hear me all right?
Loud and clear.
Okay. Yeah, I'd just like to say, in terms of Bill Kenwright, a long journey. I'm an Evertonian for a very long time. I'm very disappointed in the generation of Evertonians in terms of they made the guy very, very ill. I've seen some of the parades and everything else. I'm allowed to get hold of it in terms of what we've done. That's how we're looking to hold Lowers tickets. But I think in terms of the way Evertonians have treated Bill has been nothing short of disgraceful. He has made him ill. He's a human being. He's done nothing but best for his. I'm sorry about a bit of a frog in my throat, but I think he's been treated terribly by a set of Evertonians who never. He had class, and that class was. We're talking about Bobby Charles and anything else. These guys had class, and we've got a generation of Evertonians who are nothing short of disgraceful, and I'm not ashamed to say it. And it made that guy really ill.
Neil, how do you want to see then the club kind of remember him? Like, what do you want to see them do for him?
Well, I'd like to see something proper. You've got idiots whipping the timeline down, things like that. It's embarrassing the way Everton are at the minute. But let's just talk about Bill. I'd like to remember him in terms of a statue and the way that guy was an Evertonian. He just bled Everton. Statues. Some of these morons would ruin it anyway, I've got to say. We've got stands there at Goldstein, etc. But we also moved to a new ground. He needs remembering in a proper way. I think, I think Tank to really remember Bill in a proper, a feature in terms of what we're going to do. However, at the minute, the way the club is, he doesn't deserve some of the nonsense that's been going on for a very long time, and it's quite embarrassing. So at the minute, I'd back off from that. Let's get ourselves together as a football club. I know on the pitch they're trying to do that. It's a mess, however. But Bill was just, you couldn't get a bigger Evertonian, bigger gentleman. And that's my words. I'm quite choked about it, to be honest. I've only heard it 10 minutes ago.
Yeah, Neil, how old are you? How old are you? How old are you, if you don't mind me asking, Neil?
I'm 50. I'm 50.
Yeah.
And I remember some of the great things, everything with Moyes, all those relationships. We had a fantastic side then. We were a few players, sure. But Bill, he built that. He really did. And, I've got some amazing photographs, me and my son, in the lounge, etc. Sorry for snivelling. But there's a generation of Evertonians. And listen, that generation of Evertonians, get a grip of yourselves, because you're ruining the football club with what you're doing. You really are. You've not, the word called class, you're not doing it. You're not being Evertonians. You're going away from home as well. You're being embarrassing. I'm sorry to get a bit too...
No, that's fine. You can get emotional about it. It's an emotional afternoon now.
Bill Kenwright, ultimate gentleman in terms of what he did. He was Everton through and through. The ultimate ambassador. He didn't have all the money. However, I'm sure a lot of Evertonians who had a few bob, even if they won the lottery, they would not have put the heart and soul into what Bill Kenwright did for Everton Football Club. And really, that's how I'd like to round off. And thank you for taking me on your fantastic show.
It's our pleasure, Neil. Are you okay? You're surrounded by people this afternoon. You all right? You're not on your own?
Yes, I'm all right. I've just heard it.
Okay.
I don't think my son's still working. Anything else?
Give your son a call, Neil. Give your son a call this afternoon.
Cheers. Listen.
All right.
Thanks, guys, for having us on.
No
Take
problem.
care of yourself.
Our pleasure.
Thanks very much.
Thanks. You know,
Thank you.
it's our pleasure. You know what's nice is when Beaky came on, and talked about it, and it was a toxic place around, you know, Bill Kenwright and his tenure towards the end of the club, and it's nice now that people are coming on and talking about all the good things he did for that club.
Do you know what I always find as well? I think, listen, when it comes to owners of football clubs, and I get it, the nuance want the billionaires, don't they? They want the Middle East money. They want the guys that can spend copious amounts of money. But I always think there's something special about a owner of a club that's born in that city, that supports that football club, because I always feel like it means more to them. Does that make sense? Yeah. So like, I'm not disputing, say, Roman Abramovich and Chelsea. Like, he didn't care for that club because he came, he did great things with them. But when someone's been part of that fan base before they then own the club, I always feel like it means more. Like, they feel it more. If the club's losing, it really, really hurts them. Do you know what I mean? That they want to see their club do really well. And again, I put Bill in that same category.
Yeah, and Neil made a very good point. I hope when they move to the new stadium, they do honour him.
He'll get a statue, won't he?
Yeah, I hope so.
He should do.
I hope so. So the Everton fan before him said he's Mr. Everton.
Yeah. Well, there you go. Again, he's someone who understands the football club massively.